Hey, Cal Forever here. I've kind of been wanting to do a video. I was thinking I was probably going to be done making these spiritual journal flows. But I don't know. I kind of just like sharing my insights and stuff. And I don't really feel like a lot of the stuff I'm sharing is super profound. But I am thinking about making another channel in the near future and getting things a little more organized. But for right now, this is just me sharing my awakening. I'm in my Saturn return and I'm going through my shift, and I'm still going through these spiritual changes. And I just went to this equinox event here in Sedona, and it was really interesting. You know, like, it's cool to meet some famous authors and some healers and stuff. And the energy there was so strong. Like, I'm still, like, in the goo-goo gaga of it. Like, ugh. Like, it feels good. Like, you're intoxicated with golden light. And I'm just, like, tired and, like, kind of drained a little bit. In a good way. But anyways, man, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about sensitivity. Sensitivity is a good thing. Like, I allow my sensitivity to serve me. And there's some discernment. Like, when you're getting, like, upgrades and stuff, and you're going through clearings, obviously you need to take into account that, like, okay, I'm probably going to be sensitive, this stuff's probably going to be coming up, people are probably going to be triggering me, so I need to spend time by myself. I need to go out in nature, forest bathe, I need to sit in the cave of my room and meditate, and just allow the energy to move through me. I need to purposely trigger myself, otherwise unconsciously other people will trigger myself, and heal myself and go through this period, and I'm going to be more sensitive. So you need to take that sensitivity into account. So, but once you go through that shift, it's like, wow, I'm more sensitive. I have this sensitivity integrated. So it's like you integrate, it's about how integrated are you? Like, being sensitive is a good thing, but how can you handle that? If you're not integrated and that sensitivity is too new to you, you know, here's a good example about tuning these empathic gifts, even other psychic gifts like clairvoyance and like seeing energy and visions and stuff. It's like when I first started awakening or going through these changes, because I've been going through an awakening and probably changes since I was 16. But there's this very important period, something that happened 4 years ago, where I really started shifting and going through rapid awakenings. And it started as a blob of brown paint. You know, you mix all the colors together and you just put a blob of brown paint smeared all over the canvas. But now it's like, you know, when you tune into people's emotions, it's like, instead of just tuning into everyone's emotions and it being this blob of brown paint, it's like, oh, that tree is Jimbo Bob's sadness about what happened to him this morning, and that mountain over there is this person's tired because they worked out too hard this morning, and you're just empathically feeling their physicality. So it's like, whoa, it's becoming a finely tuned painting, and there's details in it. And that's the difference between the feminine and the masculine. The masculine separates all the trees, all of the mountains, the sky from the ground, you know, the water from the air. And that's what the masculine energy does. The female energy blends it all together and encompass it into one painting as a whole. It makes it a whole. So life's about this separate connectedness. It's not just about merging with other people and being one with people. That's an imbalance. That's not really what oneness is. Oneness is like this separate connectedness where we're all connected, but there's different parts of that whole that you can narrow into. It's a fractal. We're all connected to the same spiral, but then there's these other spirals that come off of that spiral and spiral after spiral, and it's all these fractals of reality, but it's all connected to the same thing. Like the hierarchy of our ecosystem here is the entire Earth. Like everything on planet Earth is made out of the Earth, But when you zero down in on a tree, it's like that's an individual tree, but it's also the Earth at the same time. That's how the universe is. That's how the universe functions. But the male energy is that dividing force that essentially created from the void, where the void was the feminine and the masculine energy was that piercing force that divided it in the Vesica Pisces. So the masculine energy is so utterly important and is equal to the feminine. So, and I feel like I have to say that because a lot of people dog on the male energy. Like the patriarchy and male energy. The patriarchy is an imbalance of male energy. We've actually gotten so far to a point where we've divided so much that we have to come back into the hierarchy of things. I think I'm saying that right. So what else did I want to say? I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to say. Maybe I should just keep this short. Just thinking of Earth changes and population. I think a lot of people wanted to be here for the shift, and they came from other planets. And there's definitely, with the increase of our population, people incarnated here from other planets for various reasons. Maybe because they had specific missions with technology and inventing things. And because you look at what happened the past 100 years, we developed a lot of technology, and honestly I think like cell phone technology, like computers, came from the Greys. I really do. I think Tom Dongo was talking about that. I think, maybe not, but I think a lot of that technology came from the Greys during Roswell, the whole Roswell incident. And but there are people that incarnated to develop these technologies and stuff. That could be one reason. People might want to be here for the shift. But of course, Earth changes. We have been in a pole shift, I think, for 400 years. And the poles are shifting a lot faster. And I think like 30 feet a year or something like that. Maybe 30 kilometers a year. That's a lot. And here's my take. Here's my prediction. So the Bermuda Triangle is the magnetic north of the Merkaba field, and the Devil's Triangle, which is in the Indian Ocean, is the magnetic south of the Merkaba field. And I think there's going to be a realignment either of the Merkaba and the Kundalini energy, which is in Brazil, I think, northern Brazil. And I think it's going to align. There's going to be these three energy channels of the Earth that align. And it's going to be the magnetic field, the Kundalini energy of the planet, and the Merkaba field of the planet, which is the Bermuda and Devil's Triangle. And it's going to realign probably off of the coast of Brazil, more than likely. That's probably where it's going to end up. And this is based off of science. of why I kind of have that take. Some of it's kind of speculation with the Bermuda Triangle, the Devil's Triangle, and Kundalini, but the new magnetic north is probably going to be somewhere off the coast of Brazil. And during this transition, there's going to be earth changes, and there's so much evidence for earth changes with civilizations going through this in the past. And some of it sounds dramatic, and the CIA put out classified documents. They're not classified anymore. I think you can get on their website and look at them. But it was pretty intense, their predictions of what was going to happen, and now it's not nearly as bad. But for example, there could be strong winds, 250 mile an hour to more than that on average around the planet, which is tornado quality winds. So, and there will probably be a lot of earthquakes and volcanoes. And when you look at this, there's going to be an increase of climate change and an increase of earth changes, like earthquakes and tsunamis and hurricanes and volcanoes going off. There's just going to be a slow increase, or a rapidly increasing increase of it, to the point of kind of totality, where the magnetic fields will shift and flip or reverse, however it functions. And I think this is going to happen in the next. The words is already happening. We know this. It's scientific fact. The poles are shifting, and they have been for the past probably 400 years. And so this is happening, and it's probably going in the next 30 years. There's probably going to be a shift. So in our lifetime, we are probably going to see. That's why we're here. We're probably going to see this shift. And so kind of more the speculating information is that I believe that there are certain people that are chosen to be ambassadors of Star Family. And what is Star Family? It's people, extraterrestrials from outside of our solar system. Like the Syrians. Those were the main ones that connected with me. That I'm very conscious that are working with me. There's other ones like Arcturians. And so I feel as if though I'm an ambassador, actually this was the information that I was given by them, that I'm an ambassador. So there's so many people that are chosen to be leaders and to create a new earth and a new population. And this is, the Bible talks about this, with Noah's Ark and stuff like that, and how they made new tribes. And what's the ark? It's what's an archangel? It's a light ship, and it's the flood of the Holy Spirit, and the energy's coming in, and it's changing us. Like we're going through physical, emotional, mental, emotional changes in our body, our energetic changes, and we're going through a mutation process. And if you're having ascension symptoms, you're more than likely going through this. You're more than likely chosen to, if you're listening to this, you're chosen to be maybe not an ambassador, but to be a part of the new earth. And so there's this huge split in humanity that's happening right now. It's going to get more and more obvious, and that old energy is going to die, and it might die hard, but it doesn't have to affect us super negatively. And we're protected, and our Star Family will step in at a certain point. And the Hopis talk about Red Dawn is when they will step in to help us terrestrially, like on Earth, not just connecting with us psychically and energetically, however their technology or consciousness works. Because I believe that, like Kundalini in Tantra is like a type of like technology organic bioelectric technology of moving energy, and that's not an artificial way. There's nothing really wrong with artificial things, but it's like this cell phone. This cell phone, and me giving this message to the cell phone, is an artificial means of actually what I'm also doing right now is I'm sending out this transmission out to the collective, recruiting and informing people this information that I've received from my star family. And so if you're watching this, you might be receiving this transmission live as I'm sending this to you, and then you watch the artificial technology. So you watch the artificial technology, and it just solidifies the more organic technology, natural technology. Like bats see in infrared. Isn't that badass? But we have to make freaking infrared goggles to do what bats have evolved their eyesight to do naturally. And they have like sonar. And maybe bats don't see in infrared. I don't know. So when it comes to technology, it's not this artificial, externalized or even internalized like nanotechnology. That's like bizarre. It's a lot better if the body just integrates and evolves into having these technological abilities organically. The interesting thing about cell phones is that's what the novosphere is, and it's just like teaching us how to connect to the psychic grids of the planet and to have telepathic conversations with people around the globe. And the Tibetan monks have been doing this for a long time, where they could send messages in between villages telepathically in meditation. You get in meditation, you have your video screen, you have a conversation with guides, with people. I mean, that's a way better technology than just trying to rely on a cell phone that you have to charge with a battery, that electricity is made from fossil fuels. And it's my cell phone doesn't convert a freaking sandwich into electricity, but my body does, and then I can charge my body and have psychic telepathic conversations with people around the world, and that's something that I very much am doing and getting better at in developing and integrating. So I'm becoming more integrated with these technological abilities, and I think that's really, really cool. Right? That is really cool. So when it comes back to the sensitivity, it's you got to be integrated with the sensitivity. That's the novosphere. There's this collective oneness painting that we need to have this separate connectedness. We need to know all the details. We need to know that's where that comes from. We need to understand energetic signatures, and it takes time to integrate and develop this. You can't rush it. These senses, these abilities, these technologies take time to integrate and to turn on and to recalibrate. And you have to clear and create space for it. You have to remove the fears, And yeah. Just trying to think. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. I kind of want to stop talking about my twin flame, but I do want to mention this thing. I'm not in doubt anymore. Because, and I've been mentioning in some of my videos where I'll see her journal or her paint pad, and I'll see the rings of it, and I'll feel her painting, and it feels like she's painting certain meridians and energies out of my body and healing me. And she posted something on her Facebook that she's that she is doing that. So these visions of me seeing and her crying in my eyes, and her processing and healing her emotions, she posted on her Facebook that when I paint and stuff, I cry and process these emotions and this and that. And it's oh, that's exactly what I'm seeing when I'm going through these rough emotional things. And then I'm these aren't my emotions. These are her emotions. But at the same time, as she's going through that and painting a picture, she is transmuting my energy and healing me and helping me receive upgrades. I think that's such a beautiful thing. And this is true, authentic twin flame partnership. There's so many people out there that claim to be twin flames. Like there's this one couple, and it's like they're not a twin flame. They're just like glorified relationship counselors that are unlicensed. And they don't even understand the spiritual things either. It's like they're not even enlightened or very spiritually aware or psychic, you know? And I'm not like dogging on people that are authentic twin flames, because I know there are those out there. And I've been kind of a little resistant to the whole twin flame journey myself, where, you know, yeah, I kind of want to end the video because I don't want it to be too long. But Cal Forever here. Thanks for listening. Spiritual Journal Flow. Peace.